All right, so get ready because we're going deep into data and AI.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, we've got some fascinating articles here all about Gemini and BigQuery.
Oh, yeah, I was reading about that.
Yeah, Google's new tool basically promising to kind of like revolutionize the way we interact with data.
It seems like they're trying to make it more accessible,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
people who aren't necessarily, coding experts.
Yeah, like having a super smart data assistant by your side. That
Yeah,
can just help you uncover all these hidden patterns and generate code and even optimize performance.
right.
So what exactly is Gemini in BigQuery and how does it actually work?
Well, it's designed to be much more intuitive and user-friendly
Okay.
compared to like the traditional data analysis tools
Mm-hmm.
we're used to. And what makes it so unique is its like context awareness,
Okay.
meaning that it tries to understand what you're aiming to achieve
Gotcha.
with your data.
Interesting.
So it's much more than just a query tool.
Okay, so one of the articles mentions this feature called data insights. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that works?
Sure. So imagine you're like a retail business owner
Okay.
and you're trying to figure out why your sales are declining.
Mm,
You have tons of data,
right.
but you're not sure where to start.
Right. Tons of spreadsheets just staring at you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then data insights would step in and be like, hey,
Okay.
based on your data, you should probably look at customer churn rates
Mm-hmm.
for specific product categories.
Interesting.
So it's giving you those insights that you might not have thought of.
So instead of me racking my brain trying to figure out like
Yeah.
what questions even to ask, it's handing me like a list of
Use
questions.
intelligent, relevant questions
Okay.
that are related to your data.
Wow.
And it already have the queries ready to go.
So it's basically doing the work for me.
Yes. And these queries are actually built right into BigQuery Studio.
Okay.
So you can see the results instantly with a single click.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it really is like aimed at someone who maybe isn't like a SQL expert or something.
It's perfect for someone who's not.
That's pretty slick. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what if I do need to get my hands dirty with some code?
Okay.
How does Gemini make that easier?
So let's say you need to calculate the total sales
Okay.
for each product in your, inventory.
Mhm.
Instead of wrestling with SQL syntax,
Right.
you can literally type in, generate a SQL query to calculate the total sales for each product in this table.
Wow.
And it just does it for you.
So you don't even need to really know SQL to get started.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
Yeah, it can translate your requests into both SQL and Python.
Oh, wow. So both.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. But I'm
Yeah.
thinking if I only knew SQL, that might actually be like a steeper learning curve for me.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
It's interesting how they balance that ease of use with
Okay.
providing all these advanced functionalities.
Right. Exactly. Okay, but you know me, I love visuals.
Yeah.
So what is this data canvas feature that I keep hearing about?
Oh, it's really cool. So think of it like a digital whiteboard
Okay.
where you can see all your data come to life.
Okay.
You can drag and drop data,
Uh-huh.
create visualizations,
Uh-huh.
explore relationships between different variables,
Wow.
all using natural language prompts.
So instead of just staring at like
Rows and columns,
the rows and columns,
you can actually see the patterns and
Mhm.
trends in your data.
Okay.
So it's especially useful for things like data exploration
Mm.
and storytelling.
Yeah.
When you're trying to understand the big picture and
Right.
communicate your findings to others.
Gotcha.
Like imagine being able to create an interactive dashboard
Okay.
that shows revenue trends
Okay.
across different retail stores,
Uh-huh.
all without writing a single line of code.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
It really sounds user-friendly, like a data playground almost.
It's very intuitive,
Okay.
but don't let the ease of use fool you.
Right.
There's a lot of power under the hood.
Speaking of power, data can get pretty massive these days.
Yeah, it can.
How does Gemini handle performance when it comes to like large data sets
Right.
or complex queries?
So as data volumes grow,
Hmm.
managing capacity and improving query performance
Right.
becomes crucial.
Yeah.
And Gemini actually provides AI-powered recommendations
Okay.
for things like partitioning and clustering your tables to optimize performance.
Okay. Break that down for me. What is partitioning and clustering?
Okay, so imagine your data is like a giant library.
Okay. A giant library.
Right, partitioning is like dividing that library into sections,
Okay.
like by genre.
Okay. So like fiction, nonfiction.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And when you need to find a specific book
Yeah.
You only search the relevant section.
Okay.
So that saves you a lot of time.
Gotcha.
That's essentially what partitioning does with your data.
So it's organizing it into more manageable chunks.
Exactly. And clustering takes it a step further.
Okay.
So imagine within each section of the library, you group similar books together,
Okay.
like mysteries, thrillers, and so on.
Gotcha.
Clustering does the same thing.
Okay.
It groups similar rows of data together
Okay.
to further speed up queries.
So is Gemini analyzing my data and then suggesting, like,
Yes.
the best way to partition and cluster it?
It analyzes your data,
Wow.
understands the access patterns.
That's like having a data optimization expert
Exactly.
on call 247.
You got it.
That's amazing.
And these recommendations can lead to faster insights
Okay.
and potentially even lower costs
Makes sense.
by reducing the amount of data processed.
Wow. I'm impressed. And we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah.
This is really shaping up to be like a revolutionary tool.
It has the potential.
All right, let's take a quick pause here. And when we come back, we'll delve a little deeper into some of the other exciting features
Sounds good.
of Gemini and explore its broader implications for like individuals and businesses.
Okay, great.
Okay, welcome back. We've been unpacking some of these key features of Gemini and BigQuery.
Yeah. And I'm already blown away, but
It's pretty cool.
I kind of want to shift gears a bit
Okay.
and talk about like the bigger picture.
Yep.
You know, what does this technology actually mean for like the average person?
That's a great question.
You know?
You see, like, for a long time, working with data has been this exclusive club,
Yeah.
right? You need specialized skills.
Yeah, you need to know how to code and all this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But Gemini seems to be breaking down those barriers.
So you're saying like someone who doesn't have a background in like data science
Yeah,
could actually use this to understand
absolutely.
and analyze their own data.
Like, think about a small business owner.
Okay.
They might have tons of data
Yeah.
about their customers, their sales, their inventory.
Right.
But without the right tools, that data just sits there.
Just sits there useless.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Gemini can empower them to ask those questions, like, which products are my most profitable?
Okay.
What are the demographics of my most loyal customers? Interesting.
And get those actionable insights
Yeah.
without having to know all that
Right.
complex SQL queries.
So it's like it's leveling the playing field a little bit,
Sure.
giving everyone access to that.
It's giving everyone access to the power of data-driven
Yeah,
decision-making.
exactly. That's really cool. And as this technology evolves, I mean,
Yeah.
can we expect to see even more sophisticated features that even further simplify and automate the process?
Absolutely. And one area I'm particularly excited about is predictive analytics.
Predictive analytics. Okay, that sounds pretty futuristic. What does that even entail?
So imagine being able to use Gemini to not just analyze past data,
Okay.
but to actually forecast future trends.
So it's going beyond just like telling me what happened.
Exactly.
It's like telling me what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like, let's say you're a farmer.
Okay.
You could potentially use Gemini to analyze like historical weather patterns,
Okay.
soil conditions, crop yields,
Mm-hmm.
to predict the optimal time to like plant and harvest your crops.
Oh, wow. Okay, so that would be huge in a lot of industries, I imagine.
Absolutely.
Like, it's like having a crystal ball almost.
Yeah,
That can help you make better decisions.
exactly.
Yeah.
And as natural language processing continues to improve,
Yeah.
I think we'll see more and more tools
Okay.
that allow us to interact with data using just plain English.
Wow.
You could literally ask Gemini,
So I could just say,
what will my sales look like next quarter?
wow, and it'll tell me.
Exactly.
That's powerful. Okay, but...
Or what are the risks of investing in this particular stock?
Hmm.
And it'll give you those data-backed answers.
That's cool. All right. But with all this talk about AI and automation,
Yeah.
it's kind of like, are we all going to be replaced by robots?
I don't think robots are taking over just yet,
Okay, good.
but I do think the roles of data professionals are going to evolve.
Okay. So,
So instead of spending all their time like cleaning data
right.
and writing code,
Which is what they do now.
exactly,
Yeah.
they can actually focus on more strategic tasks.
So like the more human element.
Exactly,
Yeah.
like developing those AI models,
Okay.
interpreting those complex results,
Okay.
and then communicating those findings.
So the stuff that a machine can't do yet.
Right.
Okay.
It's more about augmenting human capabilities
Yeah.
with the power of AI.
Like a partnership.
Exactly.
Cool.
Working together to achieve better outcomes.
I like that. And I think we'll also see a greater emphasis on data literacy
Absolutely.
across all industries, right?
Yes, as data becomes more and more central
Yeah.
to decision-making.
It's only becoming more important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone, not just those data scientists,
Right.
are going to need to understand how to interpret and work with data.
You're right. Data literacy is going to be like a crucial skill for everyone,
Exactly.
no matter what you do.
Regardless of their profession.
Yeah. Okay.
And tools like Gemini are playing a key role in making data more accessible
Right.
and understandable. And that's like the key right there, right?
Which is essential for
Yeah.
fostering a more data literate society.
This is all very exciting.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering, with every new technology
Yeah.
comes new challenges.
Of course.
So what are some of the potential pitfalls or concerns that we should be aware of as like AI and data analysis become more sophisticated?
One thing that always comes to mind is the importance of using these tools responsibly and ethically.
Okay, so like what do you mean by that?
So we need to be mindful of potential biases in the data
Right.
and make sure we're not perpetuating those biases
Gotcha.
through our analysis.
So just because like a machine spits out a result
Exactly.
doesn't mean that it's like objective truth.
It's not necessarily objective.
We have to be critical thinkers.
We need to be critical thinkers.
All about it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And as we become more reliant on AI,
Right.
we need to make sure that humans are still in control.
Right. We don't want the machines taking over.
Exactly. We're using these tools to enhance human decision-making. Not replace it entirely. Yeah, that's a good point. These are all good points.
It's not just about the technology itself,
Right.
but also about human values
Right.
and principles that guide its development and use.
This has been a fascinating discussion. I'm learning so much.
It's been great.
But I'm curious, for the people who are already familiar with data analysis tools, how do you see Gemini, changing the way they work?
So I think for data professionals,
Yeah.
Gemini has the potential to be a real game changer
In what way?
in terms of productivity and efficiency.
Okay.
Imagine being able to automate
Right.
a lot of those tedious tasks,
Like, what kind of tasks are we talking about?
like cleaning data,
Okay.
writing those complex queries.
Right, all this stuff that takes forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Things that currently take up so much of their time.
So they could be freed up to focus on other things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With AI-powered assistants, they can complete those tasks much more quickly and efficiently.
So it's like they can work smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
Right.
Allowing them to iterate faster,
Uh-huh.
experiment with new ideas,
Okay.
and ultimately deliver more value
Yeah.
to their organizations.
So it's not replacing them. It's like giving them superpowers.
It's empowering them
Right.
to work at a higher level.
Cool. Okay, so this brings up an interesting point about the relationship between humans and AI.
Yes.
As AI becomes more capable.
Right.
How do you see the roles of data professionals changing in the future?
I think we'll see a shift towards more specialized roles
Okay.
within data science.
So more niche.
Exactly.
Okay.
Some data professionals may focus on developing
Okay.
and managing AI models,
Okay.
while others may specialize in areas like data storytelling or data ethics.
So instead of having a generalist data scientist,
Right.
we're going to have all these other experts popping up.
More specialized role
Okay.
that cater to the specific needs
That makes sense.
of AI-driven data analysis.
And there will also be a growing need for people who can kind of bridge that gap
Absolutely.
between technical and non-technical teams,
Yes.
right?
Translating those complex data insights
Yeah.
into actionable business strategies.
Yeah, because not everyone speaks data.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about communication and collaboration.
So the future of data science is not just about technical skills.
Right.
It's about communication.
And about communicating,
and all these soft skills.
collaboration,
Yeah.
critical thinking.
This has been really eye-opening. I'm glad we had this discussion.
Me too.
But before we wrap things up, I want to
Anytime.
touch on one more thing.
Sure.
Where can our listeners go
Hmm.
to learn more about Gemini and maybe even try it out themselves?
Google has a ton of resources available online,
Okay.
including documentation tutorials,
Uh-huh.
blog posts.
Okay.
They also offer free trials
Oh, wow. Okay.
and training programs.
So they want people to learn this.
They want to help people get started.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if anyone is even remotely curious about Gemini,
Yeah,
definitely check out those resources and explore for yourself.
absolutely.
Cool. All right. So
The future of data is in your hands.
I love that.
Embrace the possibilities and use these tools to make a positive impact on the world.
Wow. That's inspiring.
Yeah.
On that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
But before we go, we want to leave you with a thought-provoking question to ponder.
All right.
What role do you see AI and data analysis playing in shaping the future of your industry or field?
Hmm.
We encourage you to reflect on this question
Yeah.
and share your thoughts with us on social media
Sure.
using the hashtag #DeepDiveDataFuture.
We believe that the insights and innovations that emerge from these discussions will pave the way for a more data-driven and equitable future for all.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Gemini and BigQuery. We've been talking about all these amazing features and
Yeah.
what it can do and the implications, but there's one thing that I haven't asked about yet, and that's cost.
Right. For
All
sure.
this power and innovation.
Yeah.
It can't be free, can it?
Well, the good news is that Google seems to be committed to making these features accessible.
Okay.
The generally available features are being rolled out in phases, and they're currently available to all BigQuery customers at no additional cost.
So it's free.
For now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So it really seems like Google is trying to democratize data analysis,
Absolutely.
make it available for everyone.
Make it available to everyone, not just those.
Not just the bigwigs.
Yeah, not just big corporations with huge budgets.
Yeah, exactly. And I think as more people and organizations
Yeah.
have access to these tools,
Yeah.
we're going to see a surge in data literacy and data-driven innovation.
Absolutely, across all sectors.
I'm excited to see how that all plays out.
Yeah.
It feels like we're on the cusp of something big.
Yeah. It's a very exciting time to be working in data and AI.
Well, this has been an absolutely fascinating deep dive. I've learned so much.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for sharing your expertise with us.
Of course.
And to our listeners, we hope that this deep dive has really opened your eyes to the incredible possibilities of Gemini and BigQuery. Data is everywhere. And with the right tools, you can unlock its power to make better decisions, solve complex problems,
And drive innovation.
drive innovation in your own life and work.
Absolutely.
So go forth and explore.
Explore the world of data.
We can't wait to see what amazing insights you uncover.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.